Hello and welcome to Plurk Tours. I will be your tour guide for this introduction to the free service called Plurk, where you can meet people, invite friends to chat online. First, let's have a look at the Plurk interface. To navigate our way, we will look at three areas: the timeline, and what I call the post area, and then the dashboard. The timeline is where I can receive posted plurks and where my plurks are posted. And right above my timeline is a bar that shows my profile, where I have some edit features. My friends is where I can see a list. And then I have alerts for requests to be a follower or a friend. And then to the far right, I can do some browsing with interesting plurkers. I can look at my account, and then also is where I sign out. Now in my timeline, you can see that I already have a buddy, Plurk Buddy, and he gives announcements and what have you. And if I want to respond to a plurk, I just click, and then I get this little drop-down menu. And at the bottom of this, I can enter a response plurk, and then my buddy will see that plurk and they can respond, and so on. I can also view in the timeline by scrolling and clicking on this arrow to earlier plurks that were made. And then I can click likewise on those and enter responses to those plurks. And if I want to go back to the beginning, I can just click on this little arrow. It automatically shifts me all the way back to the beginning of the plurk timeline. Now, in order to enter a plurk, I can just move down into this area that I call the post area. And as you can see, I can type right into this space. What in the world is going on? And I can add a question mark, of course, but I can also choose from this right-hand side these little smileys that are given to me to express myself. And so let's choose this one here, like, oh. And now all I have to do is hit my enter button on my computer, or I can just click on the Plurk tab. I click, and it pops right into my timeline, as you can see here. Also, when a response comes to a plurk, I will see a number at the right-hand side of this little plurk, and then I can respond accordingly. Now, navigating through my plurks, you can see that there is a bar down here that says My Plurks, Private Plurks, Responded Plurks, or I can view all plurks. So if I click My Plurks, for example, back up in my timeline, I will only see those plurks that I have posted. It's really kind of a neat feature, and it's kind of like a journal that I have made in my plurks and those that have responded to it. One more thing that I'd like to point out in the post area is you can also preface your plurk with a verb. So if I click on this disclosure triangle, I can also preface my plurk with any of the verbs that are provided for me. You will see also that I have private plurks area here, also language options. And currently, the Plurk that I have setting is that it'll be viewable to the whole world. And that takes care of our posting area. This third area, the dashboard, is where I and others can view some information about myself, my involvement in Plurk, my friends, and fans. Under the stats area is the dreaded karma. As one Plurker said, I like to be creative and fool around with the look of my page, and I must admit, the karma thing is fun. Karma kind of reflects your involvement in the Plurkiverse, but it's kind of wild. Okay, my list of Plurkers are listed here as friends or fans. My friends are those who follow me, and I follow them in the timeline. When my friends Plurk, I see them in my timeline. And they can also see me in their timeline. Fans are those that I allow to see my Plurks in their timeline, but I don't see their Plurks in my timeline. Now, in addition, up here is a bar, and so I wanted to point out this last feature. If I go up to the edit next to the profile, I can click on that, and it'll show me profile settings. So I can enter in general information about myself. I can even add a picture to use as my avatar. And then I can even customize my profile, so I can change the background theme, timeline theme, and the dashboard theme. There are a lot of areas that we could explore further, but I will allow you to explore that with your experience with Plurk. Now, there's a lot more I could say, but I've asked some fellow Plurkers what they liked about Plurk, and they had this to say. I love chatting in between what I am doing. I guess it keeps me connected during the day instead of just being buried in my project. Another Plurker, the threading is priceless compared to busy chat rooms, and there's not the heavy-handedness of high noise I find in most forums. Another Plurker, Plurk for me is a way to make connections with those I know and don't know, a real community builder. Another Plurker, it makes me feel less alone in the world. And my own experience with Plurk has been a lot of fun. So if you wish to join us on Plurk, you can go to the sign up page here and sign up. That's all for this Plurk tour.